Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Web and Apps with Edit. In my previous video about Figma, I showed you how to install Figma and how it loads fully after you have logged in into the profile. So if you guys have not seen that video, I'll be sharing that link in the description box. Also, the card will be appearing on the right hand side top where you can click and watch that video too. Whenever you load, you will be seeing the Figma Outlook in this format. So here I have projects and onto that I have a team project. So I need to go inside my team project and there is by default an untitled page will be there. If not, you clicking on this plus sign, you can create a new untitled. Now this untitled is currently open over here. This is how my Figma looks. So since it's given a name as untitled, if you want to change the name, you can go over here, edit it and say first app. Any name of your choice you can give and it will be inside your project, whatever is the name of your project, and it will be displayed. So when I go to my home page, I can see first app getting displayed over here. So over to my first app, you can see onto my left side there are layers and there are some tools which are going to help me create things in my Figma. And on the right hand side, there are some design, prototype and inspect. The prototype and inspects will be done ahead. Today we'll be checking out on frames, shapes and the text. So let's get started with the frames first. So frame. So when you click on a frame, and you just click over here, you can see a by default frame which is coming up, which is 100 into 100 frame. This is by default the size of a frame which is set by Figma. If you don't want the default one, you need to click on the frame and drag as per your choice. And based on that, your X and a Y axis plus your width and your height can be changed as well. If you don't want to create your own frames, you can use the ready-made frame which is available. You just need to go onto the frame and you can see all the frames that are appearing over here. So you have frames for phone, you have frames for tablet, you have frames for desktop, presentation, watch, paper, social media, Figma community. So these are different kinds of layouts which are there, frame patterns which are there, which you can use. So currently, for example, I am using iPhone 13 mini. So this is how the look of it. So I don't need to create a frame where I need to think about what would be the X and the Y axis. So if you're creating an app for a particular phone and you can select that particular phone frame from the given list of data, then it's very easy to incorporate the design as well. If not, then you will have to create your own frame. Into this, you have an option that you can swap from portrait to a landscape. So when you move to the landscape, this is how you will be looking at the landscape mode. And you can swap back again to your portrait mode as well. Also nest frames inside a frame. So that's what is called as nested frame. So if I take a frame and I put it inside it, you can see a frame inside a frame. So frame 1 is inside an iPhone 13 mini. So it's a one inside the another frame. If you don't want a specific frame to be visible, you can just click on this eye and the visibility will be gone for it. So same is the concept behind a nested frame as well. So this is how you can deal with frames inside Figma. So this is all about frames. The next we have is shapes. Inside the shape tool, you have a lot of shapes that you can work with. And you have the shortcut keys for it. Like for rectangle is R, line is L, arrow is Shift plus L, eclipse is O, and the remaining shapes. So we can draw a rectangle using the same. Any size rectangle will do. If you make it a little more adjustment to it, you can even convert it into a square as well. So this is about rectangle. You have the properties over here as layers, strokes, effects and expert. So if you want to do a specific stroke, then you can do the necessity changes for it. So over here, my border is currently visible. So if I don't want my border to be visible, I just click on this and my border is gone. So you can do many changes. Your stroke patterns can change. Your effects can change. It's like drop shadow. You want a layer blur. You want background blur. You want inner shadow. you can create respective look for that based on the designs which have been given over here. So you will get the X, Y, width, height. So based on your width and your height movement, your combinations will change. So in this way, you can put a rectangle or a square. Similarly, you have a line. So you drag and you place a line. Over here, you have the option of a stroke as well. So currently the line is a simple line which is there. If you want any specific effect to be added to it, you can change those patterns over here as well. Anywhere you need it, you can do the necessity changes. You can move your line as per your requirement, and it can go on till the 90-degree rotation as well. So that is about line. Shape we have is the arrow. So it's a similar concept for the arrow. We know that we need to have a pointing in front of us for the arrow. So same is the data which is there, which is the X, Y axis and so forth. So if you want a corner to be very much smooth or something, you can do the changes for it, and accordingly the changes will be seen. Plus, if you want this arrow, this corner section, that is the pointing section of the arrow, to be given a specific effect, then you can click over here and select. So right now it's a line arrow. If you don't want anything, it will be none. If you want a triangle arrow, you can make it a triangle shaped arrow. And if you want a reversed triangle, so it will give you a reversed look. Similarly, there is one more thing that can be done, that is a diamond arrow. So if you want a diamond arrow, you can use this. So depending on the requirement of what GUI you are creating, you can create those things. The same way you have a round where there is nothing which is there, and this is square shape as well. So depending on the changes or requirements that you have, you can give a required shape for your specific data. If you want it in the reverse direction, like when I went onto this section, it was all on the right hand side portion of the facing towards the right hand side, the line arrow, the triangle arrow, the diamond arrow, the reversed and everything. But if I wanted to on the left hand side, then I need to do this. So then both the ways my arrows can come. So if I do want it on both the way, then I can make it on one side blank and one side this. If I want one side a different look and one side a different look, I can give that as well. So this is how you will be using arrow in the specific way you need it. So that's about arrow. Then we have an ellipse, which is like an oval shape. So generally you get an oval, but if you could adjust it well and get it, you can get even a circle out of it. And if you want it to be not visible, it will disappear, and if you want it to be visible, it will be. So same way you can do what changes you want over here. So there is a color. You can go over here and change the color to whatever color that you want. How much percentage you need that data to be visible. Your strokes, how it should look, the effects that you want, and the export ratio. So you can even set specific color combination for this as well. The next tool that we have is a polygon. Now polygon is like a triangle. So currently, as we know, polygon shape starts with a three-sided figure. So this is a triangle which is there currently, which is a three-sided. You can see over here, we had X, Y, width, height and all this. But you can see currently over here, there's a count. This count, as you increase, based on it, the shape will increase. So for example, if I make it 4, it's a rhombus. If you make it 5, it's a pentagon. If you make it 6, it's a hexagon. If you make it 7, it's an heptagon. Make it 8, it's an octagon. If you make it 9, it's a nonagon. And if you make it 10, it's a decagon. It doesn't stop with this. You can keep increasing the size. So right now I make it a 20 size. So you can see it has changed. The points are there at every point that you have, where you can go and see how is the data coming out. So if you make it 20, you can see there are small lines part which has come, and it is clearly visible the layer. So you can even check the count. You will get a 20 count overthrow. So this is what is the count symbol which has been mentioned in the Polygon. So based on it, you can create shapes in Polygon. Then you have a star, and it's a star that will be getting created. By default, star is having 5 paths, and same way is the counter over here. This is about the rotation. You can increase the size over here. If you increase the size, you can see the movement of the star has changed. Its width and its thickness have been changed. So it's not effect that comes like a 3D effect is moving in and out, depends on it. So it's just a scroll bar that you're moving and you can see the changes in it. And this is the counter as we saw for the Polygon as well. So currently it's a 5, so you're getting 5. If you make it 3, you will get a 3 star. If you get a 4, you give it a star with the 4. If you give it as 8, it will be with the 8 pointings that are there, and if you want more, you can give it more as well. So depending on what you want to create and how many parts it should be divided as, you can give that, and your star will be about your shapes. So we have rectangle, line, arrow, eclipse, polygon, and star. These are the different shapes which are there in our Figma. The next is the text. So currently my layer is white in color, so I'll just change the color of my layer a bit. So I just make it a gray, and I take a text and put a text over here. Now I can start writing my data. So if I write welcome to Figma. So this is what is my text that I have written. I can do the necessary changes over here by creating a different color view. So this will reduce the text which is there. If I need a color to be changed for this, so I can just change my color from here. If I need to increase my size of my text, I can do those changes as well. If I want it to be center aligned, left aligned, right aligned, if I want it to come down in the middle, bottom, up of my text data which has been there. And there are a lot of changes that you can do over here is line, decoration, if you want an underline, if you want striking, if not, if you want underline, so on and so forth, paragraph speaking. If you want a list style, then you can give it a list spacing. If you want letter cases as uppercase, if you want capital spacing in between. And you can do the necessary changes that you want, and a preview for that will be there. So currently we have done the data over here. So it's currently visible. What is the data going to be looked about? So this is all about the text that you have, and you can do the necessary changes into the Figma. So as we move ahead in this Figma, further tutorials will be coming up on the same, where we'll be combining all these things in creating a particular view or a particular GUI using Figma. So that's all in this video. Hope you liked my video. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel and keep supporting me. Do keep watching my videos and share it with your friends and families too. Thank you for watching.